right, so hopefully you got the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into some history, and get some scriptures, and maybe a definition or two, and hopefully we can get some understanding about what time of year is really the New Year's according to scriptures and according to nature, and see if we're celebrating it right or we're celebrating man-made holidays. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into the lesson right fast because, like I said, just for time's sake, we want to go ahead and move on because I'm gonna have to do part 2 of this lesson and break down some further stuff. But anyway, so we're gonna start off in Exodus 12:1, and it reads, "And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year unto you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month ye shall take unto every man a lamb according to the household of their fathers, a lamb and house." Okay, so see that at the beginning of this month, you're supposed to take a lamb for every household. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to sacrifice that lamb, and you're supposed to also, have a celebration, in this month. So let's find out what month it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the 13th chapter and say, you have to read all the rest of it because there's a lot of stuff in between that happens. But anyway, I need you to read this stuff on your own. I'll tell you what, we're going to stay in 12, but we're going to read 12 and 43. 12 and 43. And it says, "And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, This is an ordinance of the Passover. There shall be no stranger there, no stranger eat thereof, but every man servant that is bought for money, when thee have circumcised him, then ye shall eat thereof." Okay, so this is the month in the Passover. So let's find out when is the ordinance of the Passover and what time of year, because what the beginning of the year is supposed to be the Passover. So let's jump to 13:1, and we'll read, "And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever open up the womb among the children of Israel, both man and beast. It is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought ye out of this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day come ye out of the month of Abib." So Abib is supposed to be the month of Passover. It's supposed to be the first month of the year. Okay, so let's get a definition and find out when is Abib. Okay, so based on the meaning of the word Abib or Abib, because sometimes they spell it with a V, that's but it'd be the month of Abib. So it's a stage in the growth of grain when the seeds have reached full size and are filling with starch, but have not dried out yet. During the plague of hail in Exodus 9:31, the barley was said to be Avib and the flex. This month is the Hebrew calendar when the barley has reached or passed the stage in Exodus 13:4. We just read that. So that's the month of Abib, and we're going to find out what month that is. Okay, so let's jump down. Okay, it begins about the time of the northern spring equinox. So this begins in spring around March the 21st. Okay, since the Babylonian captivity, this month has mainly been called Nisan. So they changed the name during the Babylonian captivity to Nisan, and this is in Nehemiah the second chapter verse 1, and also Esther chapter 3 verse 7. Okay, so let's jump down. Abib, according to some, also means spring, one of the 4 seasons. Thus, the majority of modern Israeli cities of the Tel Aviv mean Spring Hill. So that what the word Tel Aviv mean. Tel Aviv, that's where you get, y'all done heard the term Tel Aviv, it means Spring Hill. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go to Leviticus. Let's go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Okay, because the Passover is in the month of Abib, which is the springtime. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know what happened around springtime, so we're going to get some more stuff that will edify that in a second. So let's go to Leviticus 23, and we're going to start off at verse 1. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord. So these are the Lord's feasts. These are not some Jewish feasts. These are the feasts of the Lord's. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. We just said that. 6 days ye shall work be done. 6 days shall work be done. But the seventh day, that's why you have the 7th day Sabbath. Okay. Is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord's in all your dwellings. So no matter where you at, no matter what place you in, you're supposed to be, this supposed to be a Sabbath of rest for the Lord, even in your captivity. Okay. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocation, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Okay, so these are just not talking about the 7-day Sabbath, even the seasonal Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? Like the Feast of Unleavened Bread or the Passover, which we read now. Okay. Which you shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at evening is a Passover. We just read part of that in Exodus. You know what I'm saying? So you see that the Sabbaths are just not a weekly Sabbath, but you have seasonal Sabbaths. Okay. So let's get something. Let's go to something, because remember, like I said, talking about a bee starting off in the beginning of the year. So we're gonna go to the New Year's Day move. Okay, ancient cultures, including those of the Romans and Hindus, celebrate New Year Day on April the 1st. It closely falls with the vernal equinox around March 20th or 21st. In medieval time, okay, much of Europe celebrated March 25th, the feast of Annunciation, as the beginning of the year. Okay, let's jump down. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII ordered a new calendar, the Julian calendar. The Gregorian calendar, to replace the old Julian calendar. The new calendar, called New Year's Day, to be celebrated in January 1st. Again, so that's where you get. That's why who changed the calendar, Pope Gregory XIII. Okay. That year, France adopted the reformed calendar and switched New Year's to January 1st. According to a popular explanation, many people either refused to accept the new date or did not learn about it and continued to celebrate New Year's Day April 1st. So that's where you get the term April Fool from. So, actually when April the 1st come around, and they talk about April Fool, they're telling you that basically you got left behind. You're not celebrating the new year according to Pope Gregory. You know what I'm saying? So he the one who changed the time, you know what I'm saying? Because according to the Most High, you know what I'm saying, it's done in spring. That's where all the animals are flying, all the birds are coming from south, because they go south for the winter. All other animals who are hibernating, they come out, the flowers begin to bloom and things like that, you know what I'm saying? So you're celebrating your New Year's in the depth of winter, you know what I'm saying? So let's get something on that, deal with the time. Let's get something deal with the time. So let's go to Daniel. And we're gonna go to give me a second. Yeah. Yeah, this old Bible of mine. I mean, it's old trusted, but I mean, I love it. But anyway, so let's go to Daniel, and we're in 7 and 25, and it says, "He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto him for times, times, and dividing of times." So there you go, right there. That's prophecy fulfilled, because this man changed the calendar of the Most High. So when you celebrate January 1st, you're celebrating man's time. You're not celebrating the Most High time, but y'all talk about y'all believe in the Most High. Y'all believe in the book. Again, like you say, you're gonna get cut every time. So let's go to the New Covenant right there. Let's get a scripture out of the New Covenant, and then we're gonna go ahead and end this lesson. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 5, and we're going to start off at 7. "Purge out therefore the old leaven." Remember, we're talking about the old leaven bread, but this is not just talking about the bread at this time, talking about the sin, the old sin in your body. You know what I'm saying? Your old ways. "Let ye, that ye may be a new lump." See, talking about you being a new lump, throw away the old sins. "And ye are unleavened," because leaven represents sin. Okay, for even Christ, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Okay, so Christ became. Remember, we read that the lamb was to be sacrificed. You know what I'm saying, in Exodus the 12th chapter. You know, every household had to have a lamb, and they put the blood on a doorpost to represent the covenant of the covenant of repenting of sin. You know what I'm saying? But the Father didn't want us to sacrifice. He wanted obedience. But we had to have a covenant to have forgiveness or repentance for sin. That's why the Messiah came, and he became the sacrificial lamb. So let's read verse 8. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with the old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with unleavened bread and sanctification in truth. So again, like I say, we supposed to be keeping the new year to represent the Passover. So in April, in April when the Passover comes, you're not only celebrating the spiritual connection between you and the Most High, and getting rid of the old sin that you have been doing, but you're becoming a new creature. But at the same time, you're celebrating the new year. So y'all not celebrating the Passover in January. Wow. So with that being said, I'm going to cut it short right here, and I'll probably do a lesson 2 on this here. So with that being said, peace, love, shalom.